Well, we see a power increase when we upgrade from a 3.0 battery to the XC 6.0 battery in the M12 Stubby. And what's this guy doing here? We'll find out in just a moment. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. Okay, we're not going to waste much time here. We've reviewed the Milwaukee M12 Stubby before. We put it head-to-head in our King of Stubby shootout. We used the XC 3.0 battery to do that, and many people said, hey, you need to upgrade that to the 6.0, either the 4.0 or the 6.0. So we thought, well, let's do that and see. Will we just get a capacity increase, in other words, get a longer runtime, or are we going to see a power increase as well, and will it be noticeable? Can we see it on paper as well as feel it in the tool? So here we go. We've got the 6.0 battery, which interestingly enough, if you look at these, they're pretty much identical as far as size go. You just get updated battery cells in the new 6.0 battery, so you're going to get a longer runtime, and we should see some power increase as well. Now, if all goes well, we're going to compare it to the brand new Snap-on CT-9010. Now, this is their brand new brushless impact wrench. It's running a 5.0 18-volt battery. So how well will it do against the M12 Stubby? Let's see. Okay, so we have done much testing with the M12 Stubby, and as you can see, it gets used quite a bit. But all the testing we do, people typically say, why don't you test it with the XC 4.0 or the XC 6.0? I think we've done it with the 2 amp hour and the 3 amp hour. So we're going to do just that. We're going to take the XC 6.0, slap it on the M12 Stubby, and see what kind of performance gains we can get out of this. If things go really well, we may bring in the Snap-on to go head-to-head with the little M12 Stubby. We are in mode 3, so it should be the strongest mode, not an auto-rotate. There's 2, there's 3, so we're in mode 3. And we're going to tighten each one of these for 5 seconds, and then we're going to back it off and get a torque reading. Make sure and tighten. Yep, okay, here we go. You take our torque wrench in our socket. 202.6, 214.9, 195.5, 207.9, 196.1, 189.7, 175.6, 155.3, 172.8, 179.2. Let's take our Snap-on and let's run the same test here. We've got the Snap-on, we've got it fully charged. We've got the 5 amp hour battery, the only battery this comes with. This is the CT-9010. This is their newest brushless impact wrench. We've got it on mode 3 here, so that's the strongest mode. And we've got it on tighten. And let's tighten these down and see what kind of power we get out of this. Okay, let's use our torque wrench, back those off, see what kind of values we get. Our trusty notebook here. $186.1, $186.1, $176.9, $167.7, $176.2, 148.4, 152.6, 160.2, 124.4, 189.8, 189.8. Last one, 163.3. Well, it definitely seems that the Milwaukee M12 Stubby outperformed the Snap-on in the tightening test, and we'll deduct, or we'll actually compute some of these numbers and give you some more fastening torque specs here in a moment when we conclude. But let's go on to loosening torque, and we'll actually set these to a predefined torque, and we'll do them 2 at a time, and then we'll back them off with these impact wrenches and see which one can do more. Let's go. Typically we start a little lower, but we know what these things are going to do, so I'm going to start at 200 foot-pounds. Okay, we're going to go 200 foot-pounds with these first two. 250 for these next two. 300. 350. 400. Okay, so what we have 200 foot-pounds, 250, 300, 350, and 400 foot-pounds. Now I think the Snap-on's rated for 250. I think the Stubby's rated for 250 as well. I can't remember. But now we've got the 6.0 battery on here. Maybe be able to step it up just a bit. So let's see how we do starting at 200 foot-pounds. No problem there. Snap on. There we go. Now 250. No problem there. Snap on. All right, let's go to 300. M12 Stubby. Snap on. Let's go to 350. Stubby. Snap on. Okay, I typically like to leave these hitting for 10 seconds. About the 11th second, I saw it moving, so I stayed in it. But just to note, I left that on longer than I typically do. So now we're going to 400 foot-pounds, M12 Stubby, 6.0 battery. So it took a little bit to do it, but still within the 10-second range. Snap on, 400 foot-pounds. Okay, again, at the last second, it broke that free. So we'll start right here at 450. Okay, looks like we broke one of our bolts. Probably just broke the weld on the backside when it was leaning against that, applying in 500 foot-pounds. So we got 450, 500. Let's go with the M12 Stubby here. We've still got 4 bars, by the way, left on this. So we've done all the tightening as well as the loosening. We're still at 4 bars. 450 foot-pounds. Well, it would help to go and loosen. Okay, last couple of seconds, it hammered about 8 seconds, and then it broke that free. Snap on, 450 foot-pounds. Okay, 10 seconds, no go. That's a stop at 450 foot-pounds. Let's go to 500 foot-pounds with the Milwaukee. So 500 foot-pounds. Okay. So the Milwaukee M12 did break free 450, would not break free the 500 foot-pounds. I hammered on it exactly 10 seconds and stopped. Looked like it might have started to move, but again, I'm trying to be fair and cut them off at the same time. So we got 400 out of the snap-on, and it could not do the 450. We got 450 out of the stubby, but it could not do the 500. So it's crazy that a 12-volt tool is outperforming a tool that costs probably 3 times as much and is an 18-volt, meant to be more of a mid-torque tool. This is definitely more of a compact tool, and you can see it outsizes it by far. 450 foot-pounds out of the Milwaukee M12 Stubby. Okay, if you haven't seen it, we already compared the brand new Snap-on CT-9010 to the brand new mid-torque, Gen 2 mid-torque that Milwaukee just came out with a month or two ago. And that didn't fare too well for Snap-on. Now here's the thing, this Snap-on impact wrench costs well over $800. I think all in, I think we're about $870 something in getting this tool to us. So $800+ for the 2 battery kit. You can buy the tool with 1 battery and no charger and no second battery. I think it's like $600 versus the M12. You can buy it for $179 for the bare tool, or you can buy it as a kit with one 2.0 battery and one 4.0 battery, and that will cost you like $269. Now granted, to step up to a 6.0 battery is going to cost you another $100. So that's going to give you 3 batteries, and you're in it for, say, $370, which is still well below half of what you're in the Snap-on for. This is truly a compact impact wrench here. This is the Stubby. This was made, I don't know, it's probably getting close to 2 years ago. And this one itself has actually been banged around the shop quite often. As you can see by the scars on it, by the grease all over it, it gets used a lot. And it still outperforms the Snap-on. So to me, that's rather embarrassing when you have a tool that costs so much money. It's not made in the USA. I believe it is assembled in the USA. So I'm not trying to be hard on the Snap-on, but I just don't see the value in it when you're taking an M12, a 12-volt stubby impact wrench, and performing as well and even outperforming this in nut-busting torque or breakaway torque. So as we saw, the M12 actually broke away 450 foot-pounds and would not do 500. The Snap-on would do 400 foot-pounds, but would not do 450. So the M12 actually outperformed it. Then you go to tightening torque. Now let's first talk about when we stepped up to the 6.0 battery. That old number with the 3.0 battery in tightening, it tightened like 151 foot-pounds. And with the 6.0 battery, we actually got 189 foot-pounds was the average as far as the torque reading of backing those off. Now, when you divide by a factor of, say, 0.79, which we get that by knowing that it takes roughly 80% of the force to tighten a nut, it takes only 80% of that to actually loosen a nut. We've got a whole video on that. But we divide by a factor of 0.79 because that's what we did for testing. That's the factor we came up with. And so that gives us an actual average of 239.2 foot-pounds of fastening force from the M12 Stubby, whereas the Snap-on had an average of 164.6 as far as our torque reading, and then we divide by that factor and that gives us 208.3 foot-pounds. So again, well outperformed by the M12 Stubby. Furthermore, I will tell you when you use them, if you use them side by side, you can absolutely tell that this M12 is hitting harder than the Snap-on just by feel. It's a lot harder hit, and you can tell it's doing more work than the Snap-on. I know that's a seat of your pants things, but I'm telling you, if you use them side by side, you'll definitely notice that. Let me know if not. So price-wise, Value's got to go to the Milwaukee M12 Stubby. And again, we did not set out to put this against the snap-on because we never dreamed of putting a mid-torque type of impact wrench against the Stubby. But when we saw the numbers that the 6.0 was putting out with the M12 Stubby, we thought, you know what, that's really close to what the snap-on was doing, so let's throw it in the ring and see how it does. Great job from the M12 Stubby. If you're wanting more out of your Stubby impact wrench, definitely, step up to a 6.0 battery. You're going to see power increase. In fact, that's roughly, I think, 25% when you go from 151 foot-pounds, 151 foot-pounds up to 189 foot-pounds. That's quite a big jump. We're calculating that right at 25% increase in power, as well as you're going to virtually double your runtime if you're going from a 3.0 and triple your runtime if you're going from a 2.0, at least right close to that anyway. And you're not growing in size, at least from a 3.0 battery. Same size as far as the actual dimensions of the battery. $179 bare tool. $600, 5 something is the cheapest you can get this. Hey, check out the M12 Stubby for yourself. It's the model 2555-20 for the bare tool, or -22 if you want the kit with 2 batteries and a charger. Also keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button only if you like this video. If you don't like this video, by all means, give us that thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.